You smell that? It's a brand new episode. Welcome to Online Forever, where we are here right now. How are you today?
Wow. I'm doing good. It's I'm having some allergies and that's pretty sexy of me. I'm dripping.
out of the nose mainly?
Actually, my butt allergies are
okay. All right.
Since you asked.
Take a lap. 3 seconds in. Oh, the butt is leaking.
I'm just kidding. But I am allergic to these haters. How are you doing?
You know what? I am also allergic to these haters.
So we have no allergies because we have no haters.
Are you sure you want to post that? It's gonna be online forever.
We've been doing some things lately.
That's right.
We've been doing some different things. Something look a little different over there. What's going on, shorty?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
Oh,
Because very few have noticed. I have a sneaking suspicion that my longtime subscribers aren't even gonna notice because it just looks so right.
it looks so right, and it feels right.
But your girl's no longer looking like Ronald McDonald anymore. Okay, we took a trip out of Clown Town and we went to Brown Town.
Oh my God! Wow, years out of Clown Town.
Years of my life.
of-
Yeah, this is round one of coming back to my natural hair color. I don't know exactly what it was. I've always like hated my natural hair color, and recently I was just like, it's time to embrace it. And I was talking to you about just feeling like all parts of my body have been maximized for like my sexuality and for financial gain. And I'm just like, you know what? I got big titties. I got tattoos. I'm tall as hell. I'm already very noticeable. Why do I need to be a redhead as well?
Right. It was actually a safety measure. I think.
And you know what? I am trying to shake off these pumpkin pounders, okay?
Right.
Pumpkin pounders coming out of the woodwork.
For those of you who don't know, a pumpkin pounder is someone who fetishizes the redheads.
And can I just say, the last man I slept with, which, can I get a round of applause, was almost 5 months ago. Thank you. Thank you. 6 months on my birthday. Crazy. But so I was seeing this guy, obviously looking back a pumpkin pounder, which I really realized because I hung out with one of my exes, and my ex has 2 sisters who are both redheads. And he told me that the last guy I slept with had actually back in the day slept with one of his sisters as well, which is so crazy and kind of hard to follow. But basically I was like, wow.
Yeah, LA can become so small, especially in the pumpkin pounder circle.
Right.
It's a tight-knit community. They have meetings underground where the pumpkins grow.
Pumpkins grow.
I had a realization about us, this podcast, and general reality over the last couple of years.
Well, I would like to get into that.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's just say when we started this podcast, we were in active addiction, I may say. And we were polyamorous.
Ew, don't
I
even
know.
say that. Oh my God,
It's
the
honestly,
shame.
It's way more embarrassing than doing porn. So we started out in active addiction and polyamorous, and now we're celibate and sober. Right?
Let God rain down on me.
Amen. Amen. Check it out now. Amen.
Wow.
I'm not even trying to find God. God is trying to find me.
God's trying to get in these britches. Proud of us. And speaking of this podcast, what a ride it's been lately.
Oh, lately. It's kind of like, whoa. It's, let's talk about some low-hanging fruit, which was the beginning of this podcast, I would say. You know, our most viral video is with Dredd, partly because it's an amazing interview, but also because he's got the world's biggest schlong and swings it sideways. And everyone wants to hear what he has to say and see how we respond to him, mainly. And the most viral clip is like me talking about an HJ. And it's just like the fruit is on the ground and the fruit is rotting. That's how low hanging it is. And I feel like arguably there has been no part of this process that's been comfortable for us. There's been
Say that.
there's been a lot of times where we have a good time being
Mhm.
silly on here and having fun, but there's been a lot of like very serious things we've had to tackle. And then in recent seasons, I feel like we've just been focusing on just like, you know,
letting loose
and like trying to find ourselves
yeah
into these mics
Mhm.
where we are in life now. Because we're 30, okay. And I've always wanted to be 30, and now I am, and it feels exactly the way I hope. Things are just clicking. So many things are making sense to me now.
Oh my god, can I say something crazy about being 30?
Okay.
It's actually crazy though.
I'm scared.
Okay. I had this thought this morning. This is actually crazy. I don't even want to say this, but like I was like I was like I can't have a child with someone I know very well. Is that crazy? Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
Because I'm like, you know, people who were like aligned in their 20s and like met their, you know, lifelong lover then, they're having a baby with someone they've known 10 years, something like that. I'm like, that's never going to happen for me.
Right.
And that kind of fucks me up.
Yeah, no, I've been thinking, it's so weird because I just never thought I would ever have these thoughts, which means you're definitely going to have them. If you're thinking like, oh, that'll never be me, it's already you. But
yeah, you're rejecting the part of you that's already thinking it.
Yeah, there's no escaping everything that
yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, like this, like, so we're 30, arguably 10, 12 years of possible procreation. Like,
I'm really not trying to do that in my 40s personally.
Oof,
I'm not
I can't
opposed, but I'm not
imagine.
trying to do that in my 40s.
Yeah, no, sounds really rough. Sounds horrid. But yeah, no, that's such a good point that I haven't thought about, and now I'm just gonna
spiral
toss on to the pile of reasons to spiral. But yeah, like the person that we have children with, if we do, we're only gonna know them for like 5 years before procreating.
Woo! Yeah, I think Love is Blind, this most recent season, like really put that thought in my head.
You know, I wrote down a quote that you said about that because I loved it so much.
The trash.
Yeah. Okay. So this season, for those who don't watch the absolute dumpster fire of a show called Love is Blind,
which you all do. It's a sensation.
Season 7, that was filmed in DC.
Woo!
Arguably the worst.
I see what you mean now that I finished it. Because you told me, spoiler alerts ahead, you told me 2 couples get married. And I'm like, that's like actually good for that show. You meant 2 couples have a wedding at all.
Right.
None of them make it to the I was like, oh my God. Please, the quote, please.
Okay, yeah. So you said, watching the men on this season felt like driving behind a dump truck with the windows down. And I could not agree more. But like you're trying to roll the window up and it's jammed.
And like there's like trash just flying out of the car, hitting your windshield.
Yeah.
Do we want to just talk about it now? Talk about some media? Because
because the men on this season, one in particular, should we just
I'm
right
so
into
curious which your one is, because the sperm donor was
okay.
your least favorite.
I thought we were gonna
I can't decide who my least favorite one is, because Ramses, the more I think about him, the more infuriated I become.
Yup. Because he paints himself to be so like, I'm in touch with my feelings, I'm progressive, free Palestine,
gaslighting her till the end.
Yeah, him being like, I'm so progressive, and then he couldn't put on a condom,
and is like blaming her for not wanting to get on birth control, and like the way that he like couldn't process the idea that she did not want to have sex with him, like one time when she was slanging that dick around every single day that they were in Cabo.
Every time.
Which clearly
not even in Cabo, but like I remember there was one time where he's like cooking and she comes home from work and she was like, oh, did you get, like, he's like, oh, I just got those pictures you sent me. Like she was like sending him like sexy
doing
pictures.
the most to make sure that he's like sexually satisfied.
And to be fair, like their connection was so sexual from when they first met each other, and arguably like way more like physical connection than anyone else. So you kind of were like, oh my God, I love them, because they were actually into each other, but the connection was purely physical, and that becomes very clear.
Him shaming her for being in the military pissed me off in a way that I cannot describe.
It's like, boy, you knew that she was in the military. These are things that you knew.
And people change. She was 18. Like, the fact that he can't, like, comprehend her capacity to, like, have conflicting feelings.
Right, I know.
Which, like, I get that he's, like, been personally affected by it. Like, because he's and his family are from Venezuela. And, like, he has really strong opinions on it. But, yeah, like you said, it's like, why did you date someone who's been in the military since she was basically 2 years old?
Sometimes people see something and feel okay about it in the beginning because they're like, oh, endorphins, I'm excited about this person. And then later it just becomes the thing, like the fuel that they have against the person to make them feel shame. Let's go surface level for a second.
Okay.
How do you feel about the two dreads?
I was attracted to them, I'm not gonna lie.
I
love a quirked up short.
Yeah, I like any type of different or like uniqueness.
Yeah, but
shows bravery.
Me and Noah were like watching it, and he was like, I can't stand like any kind of rat tail situation.
It's a side. It's not, you know?
Yeah, rat tails really hit for me, I'm not gonna lie.
I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I saw
about
this
that.
person, this crazy rat tail I saw online recently. Really long, but on the back, he had his head shaved to look like the rat's body. So it looked like.
I am coming. She wanted a husband so damn bad. She
They
said,
all did.
I'll take anyone.
They all did. They all do.
They all did, bro. And we see what happens.
Yeah, and
when you-
we've seen what happens
Oh my
in our
God.
personal lives.
I don't know what you mean.
Okay. Moving on from the truth, we're here to lie. Okay.
Steven
I was
is
just
a
about to
serial
say
killer,
it's time to talk
clearly.
about the sex addict. Isn't Steven the
Every time his face comes on the screen.
biracial one?
Oh yeah, the African American gentleman.
Fully white.
He's like
He's like, I found out I was like 9% Ghanaian or something.
She's
And-
like, I love my black king. Oh my God. Every time his face came on the screen, it was a true jump scare. I was like, ah!
Dude, okay, so he is a sex addict. And he basically like comes out and says that.
Like multiple times.
Right.
And she's like,
you're so
I
brave.
love your honesty. She's like, I can't believe you're opening up to me
Right.
so much.
When men are telling you who they are, listen and then run away. He was like,
Run.
oh, I messaged this girl, which isn't really cheating, but like I felt so bad about it. And I told my girlfriend at the time and she was like, thank you.
Turns around, does the exact same thing to her. Like, girl, the roadmap was given to you.
He says he's going to do a sleep study. And he talks to some mutual on Instagram about various dark, it seemed, kinks.
I'm so infinitely curious, and I'm so pissed we didn't get to know what they were.
I think it was DDLG,
You do.
I think it
But
was
he's the LG.
diaper lean. For people that don't know, that stands for I'm gonna cry saying this out of cringe, but Dom Daddy Little Girl.
Little girl.
Little girl.
AKA me and OJ's relationship.
Who's who?
Vote in the comments.
Okay, I feel like we're wrapping up.
Yeah. Who else?
I do just want to say that Nick Lachey and wife Vanessa.
Bro, what you said about them cracked me up.
What did I say?
I was like, what do you think their relationship's like? You were like, the cameras go off, they walk behind the stage and go to different rooms and go to sleep.
Right. Because if they're like, I can't imagine the conversations, the amount of therapy, and talk about my man.
Oh my God.
He is 100 degrees.
I think we should wrap by saying, obviously, the best part of the show is the music. And I think we all know that.
They're like having a mimosa, and the music's like, about to drink a mimosa.
They're like, a guy's like, my entire family drowned in a boating accident, and the music's like, I can't breathe around you. It's so disrespectful, and I love it.
Should we do a little
current?
Let's get current vibes. We went camping,
We did.
and we're not going to go too deep because it was very personal and spiritual experience. But we went off grid.
And I would just like to say something. I think we learned something big that we learned on our trip.
Oh,
Is that chestnuts must be roasted on an open fire, and chestnuts are it. Chestnuts are in this season.
bro, you have not lived. unless you've had a chestnut roasted over an open fire.
No other prepreration.
No, don't
cut
try. Don't try it at home.
No.
Literally, unless you have an open fire. Hand to God, these things are delicious. Okay,
So good.
we didn't know what we were doing.
I
but we
had
did
no
it
idea.
perfectly. We had no idea. Okay, we roasted them, and then we peeled them. These things they look like little brains. Okay, any food that looks like a brain, going right up there. Brain
Food that looks like a
food.
heart. They say the same thing.
Oh my God. And food that looks like balls is really good for,
And food that looks like pussy.
is really good for it. Okay, so yeah, chestnuts are it. If you guys haven't done it, just don't buy them from Erewhon. I tried to go to Erewhon to buy them, $40.
Oh my God. Erewhon is a performance art piece as a grocery store. I'm convinced of this.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no way.
Mm-hmm. They have someone probably making $80,000 a year full benefits, just handing you the basket when you walk in.
Erewhon is a feeling, okay? It's not a physical location. Erewhon is where you go to feel a certain way.
Yeah, you go to feel healthy, which it does do.
It does. I've overcome fatal illnesses just from walking inside of Erewhon.
Dude, same. I literally it will change your whole being. Now it's time to say that we have done it, folks. Okay, we have wanted to go to the Magic Castle.
Ooh.
And I said, I am manifesting going to the Magic Castle. Said it out loud once. Guess what happens a week later?
So many invitations rolling in.
Guess
Guess what? We didn't even need the invitation.
Oh, okay.
Because we walked in that bitch like it was nothing.
This is the most, dare I say, most exclusive club in Los
LA.
Angeles.
Like, people are obsessed with it and are
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I can't believe you're going. Like,
Right.
who's your hookup? Who'd you have to boink to get in there?
Right, because you have to be or know a member to get in. In order to be a member, you have to pay thousands of dollars and also be a magician.
You have to be in the International Brotherhood of Magicians.
Right.
And for those who don't know, the Magic Castle is a sprawling mansion that exists to employ magicians in between regular jobs. And there are hidden rooms all around the castle where you pop in and you see the most mind-blowing magic you could possibly imagine.
Magic is real. We saw a man make chickens appear. Okay, but so where you need, there is so much security, you cannot get in unless you have an invitation and it checks out and they vet you and then you give a kidney and then you can go in. Somehow, we just waltzed on in there.
Yeah, we rolled up to a secret back entrance.
I don't know what happened, but
it's not
like no one saw us go in, too.
No, we were making eye contact with the guards. They were like, huh, these girls look like they know where they're going.
Right,
Must be magicians.
These girls look magical. Yeah, so we end up in the library bar, and our friends are like, where the hell are you? We're like, oh, we're in the library bar. They're like, how the hell how are you in the library bar? That's impossible. We were like...
Ever heard of telekinesis?
Yeah. I've heard of
Transportation.
Levitation.
Teleportation. There we go. Took me a minute to land on that.
What was it?
Teleportation.
Walking through walls is how we did it. This place is incredible. They make you wear gowns. You have to be dressed to the nines. Very serious about the dress code, which was fun. It felt like everyone was at freaky prom.
I know. I haven't had that many old man's eyes on me in a while. Since I was at the nursery home visiting my grandma back home.
Speaking of it being well known that they're super strict and kind of wild, this man writes this really long Reddit story that I'm not going to go into, but I will say that the story is essentially he's trying to boink the girl that he brought there. He gets volunteered to go up on stage. He had to take his jacket off and he did this trick where he's proving his strength or whatever. And then they're leaving and he doesn't realize oh, fuck my jacket. But he remembered way after they they're outside chatting for a long time. He goes back in to get it. There's nobody inside. And he was it felt so eerie. He felt like he should not be there. And he goes into the room that they, he left his jacket in. And he said, before the trick that he did, there was this man that essentially disappeared on stage, a volunteer that they put into a box, and then they literally folded the box and dismembered the box and he was nowhere anymore.
Should have been me.
I know. And he said that there was a circle of magicians and the guy that had disappeared. The guy that had disappeared was like bald and gagged in the center of the circle.
Oh,
And that they were like performing this humiliation ritual on him.
Should have been me. No.
And
ooh,
yeah, I think the guy was just a good storyteller, and I think he's feeding on the fact that
It was on No Sleep, right?
yeah, and I think that he's feeding on the fact that people think that the Magic Castle is like an Illuminati satanic group.
I mean,
which
all the
signs point to yes.
all 52 cards are there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's crazy.
Well, I love that. And then his jacket appears somehow at his house.
Yeah, the
right?
next day, like he like opens his front door and the jacket's there, and it was warm.
And there was a ball gag in the pocket, suggestively.
And yeah.
Wait, I want to tell the scary story that I told you about from Reddit. The Let's Not Meet story.
Oh my god, spooky.
Haunting me.
Okay, yeah.
This is haunting me more than the thing that has probably haunted me most, which was when somebody told me about this guy who like hides under your car and like slices your Achilles tendons when you try to get into your car. That I heard about when I was
a playground tale. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that I don't think is real, but I jump into my car to this day, like from like 3
Probably
feet
was
away.
real once, and then just the story. Okay.
But yeah, okay. So basically, this Reddit that's Let's Not Meet was like this girl gets home, she's on the phone, and she goes into her bedroom and she's talking to her boyfriend or something, and she drops her phone on accident and she bends over to pick it up, looks under her bed. There is a man hiding under her bed, back away from her, like curled up under her bed. And she's like internally freaking out, but externally she's a genius. She like picks up her phone and she's like, sorry, I dropped my phone, but I'm gonna go take a shower real quick and then I'll be over after that. And she hangs up, goes to her bathroom, locks the door, turns on the shower, and crawls out the window with her phone.
Genius.
Right. Like such a genius move. Whoo! Thank God that guy wasn't facing the other direction, because she calls the cops and she's like, there's a man in my apartment. The cops come. Where do they find the man? Not under the bed anymore. Standing outside the bathroom door, holding a knife from her kitchen, waiting on her to come out of the shower. Woo! He was like he was a houseless, unhoused man.
Yeah, on some the voices told me to.
Yep. Yeah. There were voices. He's experiencing a break. I think he is unfortunately jailed now, but Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Do you have anything to confess, babe?
A confessional.
Yes.
Are we going to sing the song? Oh, we already sang the song.
No, that was Amen.
You start.
Christ has
I'll harmonize with you.
died. Christ has risen. Christ will come again.
On my face. I actually do have a confession, and it makes me sick to my stomach. But I need to say it out loud because I've not been to a slaw meeting in a while.
Oh, and I don't know about it.
You know, I haven't told you the details. You know a little bit about it. So, okay. I'll keep it, snatched. But basically, I meet this guy in the park. He's hot. He looks kind of like the guy that's in Twisters. The guy who's like, this, sexy white guy. He's blowing up everywhere right now. Whatever. He looks vaguely like this guy. Our dogs are getting along. We're like chatting for like an hour. And he asked me how old I am, and I'm like, guess. And he's like, 30. And I'm like, oh God. He's like, 33, 34. And I was like, okay. Extremely humbled. Never asking that again in my life. I've never had someone guess. Like, when I was younger, I got that, but I don't. Normally people guess that I'm in my 20s, and I was like, okay, that really hurt, and was very humbling. And I really will never ask that again. So anyway, that was just a little snafu. We exchange numbers. We're like, we can go take the dogs out sometime. So we talk about, like, he's gone for a couple weeks. He comes back, and I was gone. We were gone camping, and we're both back in town. And I'm like, do you want to take the dogs to the reservoir this week and go like walk around? And he was like, yeah, sure. So do I put on makeup to go do that, to do this very casual thing? Yeah, I put on a little bit because I'm like, this guy thinks I look old as hell. And I get there, right when I get there, he's like, ooh, actually I can't come. I got to do some work. And I was like, word, no problem. That's all good. Didn't love that. Because did I really have time to be doing all that? No, I didn't. But I did it anyway. Because I was like, we'll go chat. And he's like, I will be going to the park tomorrow, though. So I'm going to go around 10 and I'll see you there. Okay. So Next morning I wake up. Do I put on makeup to go to the park? Yeah. Yes, I do. Early in the morning. So that's my confession. And I get there at 10. I'm like there for like 20, 30 minutes. He's like not there. And I'm like, this is humiliating. So I go back home. He's texted me at like 10:30 and was like, I think I'm gonna like leave for the park now. And I was just like, well, I just missed you. So, and that's the last we spoke. And that's the last we will ever speak because the red flags are flagging hard. So the makeup embarrassed me a little bit. That's my confession. Because I'm like, did I really feel like I had to look younger for this man who I don't know? Yeah. Yeah, I did. And did he neg me? Probably on purpose. I'm kind of thinking, yeah.
Yeah, it's giving pickup artist.
Ew.
That is the number one. Like, put them down, number one, and then tell them they look like shit. Always works. Because it kind of does.
It definitely did. It definitely did.
Especially to really hot women because they know, like, they're so, avalanched on, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're perfect, step on me, whatever. And then they're like, you got to stand out.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
You got to tell them they look bad.
Yeah, so I share that because if you guys feel like losers, just know I'm right there with you. Just know I'm right there with you. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been humble. I also got like kind of stood up by a guy this week who I had no business going to dinner with anyway. But he forgot. He told me he forgot, but he still forgot.
On some love is blind, aka love is delusional shit, we think they're gonna make it better. They always make things worse.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I went on like a non-date, like coffee date with somebody this week. He was like very sweet, very nice. But I have no business dating right now. I've been single all year, and and I'd like to keep it that way. And that concludes today's episode.
It does?
Oh, does it not?
I guess it does.
Oh, no, it doesn't have to. Let's do. It does. Yeah, it does.
But you got some shit after this? You got other bitches coming in the stew?
Wow.
Wow.
Why did he just get 10 times sexier?
Maybe I could have babies with someone.
I know. Maybe really I could have babies with someone. I'm not thinking of anyone in particular, though. Just kidding. Professional environment.
Caught on cam.
Right.
In 4K. Call HR right now.
Yeah. I'm about to go home. And then I'll come back. And we'll come back to the stew. What? Is that weird? I'm trying to rap.
I've never seen you rap before in my life. This is just really hard to take in.
Well, soak it up, sweetie.
Okay, well, there was a lot more I wanted to talk about, but we'll just have to do it in the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Come and Bria, listen next episode.
Wait, put your Oakleys back on.
Say less.
I got my shades on, them Oakleys to be exact. Inside my sound, gonna bring the host to the back. Yeah, that's two-step remix.
I would just like to say my mom gave me these glasses, and they're probably the most expensive glasses that I own, and they are the worst pair.
Wait, let's do a quick trade.
They fog up. They press into my temples, but they look good.
Ow!
Yeah, these are so much. Oh.
Ow!
Right. You gotta
what
go.
What type of head is this made
Really?
for?
They like wrap around. I'm like, you gotta go cheap on glasses, and we all know it.
This is made for a squirrel. Ow! Migraine. Immediate migraine. Nope.
All right, kids.
Thank you guys so much for watching. And we're now
offline.
Offline.
Are you sure you want to post that?